check to make sure we up.
I just got notifications, so I know it's up.
Back.
Oh, this went off.
All right, yo, what's good? What's good? MNFL. Let me go ahead and throw this joint up in the chat. So Marquez can come down a little bit. That dude be on 10, bro.
He do. Yeah, man, tight. They when they had no podcast, they be in my feelings like Drake. You know. Appreciate the brothers tuning in though, man, for sure. You know, we can't count on nobody else to view it. Be them.
Word, for sure. For sure. Yeah, man. So what's good? What's good, fellas? As you can see, is me, yours truly, D Bev. We got the commissioner as usual. And a special guest for episode 3, Mr. Kevin himself, the coach owner of the Jaguars.
Howdy.
There it is. In the flesh, ladies and gentlemen, the guard so far of season 1 and 2 in the AFC.
Can't say that.
He's handling dudes out here, man.
He get blown out in the Super Bowl, blowing 21-point leads, 17-point leads, whatever it was.
You there though? You in the building?
Yeah. It don't matter who's there though. It matters who's got the trophy at the end.
Hey, Kev, I feel your pain, man. I was there one time with the Jags too, man.
I'm Marv Levy, man. That's who I am.
Not Marv Levy. Dang, Bill? You gotta do it 4 times in the Super Bowl to be that guy.
1 and 3 now.
Man. But yeah, man. So, we're going to get into today's episode. We're going to try to keep it short enough. We got the fights tonight, so try to catch that. But just want to run through the playoff situation, man. As of next week, we're going to be making the final push into the playoffs. Playoffs should be starting next weekend for real. So, we sent out today the contenders and, what it's going to take pretty much for each of those contenders to get into the playoffs. And so today, that's pretty much what we're going to run through, offer our predictions on who's gonna make it, who's in, who's out, and what that season is going to look like. So, let's see here. All right, I guess we can let's start with the AFC since we got Kevin on. All right, I want to start with the AFC. I want to first talk about the Jaguars, man. I'm gonna go ahead and go on a limb and say that, dude, you playing like, in my opinion, number 1 seed in the AFC ball. In my opinion, if I had to choose between you and the Browns, I'm going with the Jaguars only because of the consistency I've been seeing, man.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give it to D-Nice, though. He's probably, in my opinion, he's got the best offense in this game still. Him and Tundy are right there. He's probably the most dynamic player in the league, in my opinion. The dude can just go off. Like I was saying to you pre-show, he can put up 30, even if you're playing good, even if you're having a good day defensively, he can still run 30 on you. So, but yeah, man, we're having a good season, and took a couple losses this year, which I don't like to take. I only take those in the Super Bowl usually, or the conference championship game. But yeah, we're doing well, man. I think I'm gonna have another run this year.
I mean, last 2 games, 59-0 against the Colts, and then 40-0 against the Broncos, man. Like, what were you really feeling, man? What were you on, man?
So, whenever you win games like that, it takes a little bit of luck, right? So, I mean, those guys were both moving the ball, and they just, I think it's probably been a problem they both had. Most of it's holds them back a lot. It's just their turnovers, Like they make that one extra pass. They try to force something in there, and I got the playmakers on that side of the ball that can punish pretty much the best of them, So it can go bad quick if you turn the ball over against me. So that's one thing. But that happens for anybody. Turnovers matter, and I've won the turnover battle, so that's what's been giving me those big dubs.
Well, I mean, let's not skirt the fact that his pass rush is ridiculous too.
Yo,
I just talked about Chubb and Lawson.
Listen, I don't know if you guys have picked that up yet though, but my 2 seasons here, I'm always looking to build that front 7 up and make them explosive because in this game, I think pressure is king. If you can pressure the quarterback and you can limit what people can do and kind of limit what you need to cover defensively, if you can limit those routes to 5 yards and you can pressure them that quick, then definitely makes people more one-dimensional, makes it a little easier to defend.
Yeah, it wasn't a fluke either because it carried over from the patch because you were having a good time pass rushing people prior to the patch, and the patch didn't change that. Even though they changed pass blocking. So clearly, from a numbers perspective, I mean, with Chubb and Lawson's high power finesse with block shedding, you ain't got time back there.
They're bears on their own. I have been saying I think man coverage is much improved this Madden, especially if you have the horses to cover.
Oh yeah.
So it's definitely allowed me to be a little more exotic in like how I get pressure. Sending safeties, sending linebackers. It's not just 5 who does that shit anymore. So we're all doing it now. So it's easy to do that. The game definitely
copycat league. It's a copycat league. So hey,
yep.
Looking at it, you got your last 2 games are against the Chargers and the Titans. You want to speak on those games? We on the Jaguars right now. We'll talk about those 2. Give our predictions.
Well, I'll tell you, Damo's been talking a lot of shit about that one win he got. So gloves coming off this week, Damo.
He gonna talk shit
gloves coming off this week.
No matter who.
Don't catch a 50 burger. Don't catch a 50 burger. I'm playing. No, Damo plays me tough because he's you could tell he's got that, I think a lot of times you can see people who are video game players and who are football players, and Damo, he definitely strikes me more as a football guy. He knows what he's doing. He wants to run an offense. He wants to run a defense. He doesn't want to spam the same plays. He doesn't want to do what works, So I think that hurts him sometimes, but it makes him fun to play against. And not just because like, oh, I'm going to beat him, but it's fun to play against people who play that brand of football. You kind of get in that chess match. So it's always a good game with Damo and Alvy. I mean, Alvy's got a way of defending and running the ball and taking a game and making it 5 possessions.
Milk.
And it's not. I don't even think it's.
No.
He gets conversions. He gets those conversions. He keeps the clock moving and he plays good defense. You don't get big plays against him usually. So he's another one, man. Anything could happen. It's Madden.
I mean, I would definitely look at those 2 as trap games. I mean, I played HG last night and he was 0-13. I was like, there's no way this game is going to be a blowout because it's too much in the lose. Like, he had nothing to lose. I had everything to lose. He has nothing to lose. So
HG's got some players too. He's got some players.
And I think, Bailey, he has had a rough season this year. I mean, he has some high draft picks again. So
I think he's got the top 2 right now. So.
Yeah, so I think he'll be able to solidify his offense and defense come this draft, and he should be all right. I mean, if they leave this game alone, I think that's my biggest problem too. They gotta leave the game alone for a while so people can get used to it. Because every time I get comfortable, you change it.
It's also, I think HG just needs. He I've talked to him before about this too. I think he doesn't really get to play as much as he used to, and you could tell like his playbook is shallow. Like, you know what I mean? Like after a half, usually I'm like, all right, this is what he's doing this game, and it's not his fault. That's just what he trusts.
Yeah, that's how I get out of hand because he stayed in 21 personnel the entire first half.
Oh, you saw that? Yeah. Oh, like, same thing with me then. Yeah. So we know.
It's not so much you can do out of 21 personnel. I mean, it's a heavy run formation. So, but he just he never passed. He never ran out of it.
There's a lot of strong eye throwing, which was it matches up really well against my personnel with
right, exactly. So I mean, you're not gonna get a whole lot of big plays or any type of chunk plays out of that, regardless.
Yeah.
So I mean, it just he got a couple of field goals early. After that, I realized what he was doing. He ain't score again. So I mean. Like I said, he just got to diversify his playbook a little bit. But Mike said he runs his own business now, from what I hear. So it's like, he don't have the time to invest.
He's a busy man, man. It's tough, So that's what it is. His priorities in the right spot, I'd say.
Word. I think if I had to go on a limb, I mean, I must say that I got you taking those 2 games. I think if I had to make a prediction on the Jaguars seeding wise, I think you stay at number 2.
Yeah, probably.
But I definitely think you take those next 2 games. So
you play in a division with D Nice. If you lose 2 games, usually you're looking at the 2 seed. So
or less, depending on who's else is up there. But I definitely agree with that. I mean, I think he only lost to you, right?
Yeah, this season, yeah. And I'll say, man, he probably came in expecting something different from me. I ran a lot of zone last year in Madden, a lot of cover 2, cover 3. Kind of stuck to that. Didn't really mess with man. So I think he might have maybe been thrown for a little bit of loop, or he was just off. And I did get a lot of lucky breaks that game too. So it is what it is. We'll see him again, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how it breaks because he does have to play a game before he ever even reaches your game against them. So I mean, because Diaz, I keep calling him Diaz, Marquez somehow another beat him last year. So I mean, anything's possible, and it was in Cleveland. So
Marquez is another one of those guys too that he plays so well defensively, and he really has a way of shortening the game. Not by cheese either. He just the way he possesses the ball and converts shortens the game. So he's a tough one, man. He's a tough out.
Yeah, I definitely would say that. I mean, he's doing something. I haven't played him yet this season, but this Madden.
You can see it last season with Marquez. He started out. He was kind of. I feel like he's kind of a no offense, Mark. He's kind of a scrub early last season. Maybe for the first 3 seasons, and then he really came on strong. Kind of found his game. And he does things well now. He used to do 1 or 2 things well. You can see he's more well-rounded this season. Definitely making a push.
He's balanced. He's balanced on offense, and he plays great defense. I mean, any game he can win. So
yeah.
I think we can jump to him because I mean, there's no point to talk about the Browns. They played the Cardinals and the Bengals the last 2 games.
That's just a Mark Jackson award season. Is what that is.
Right.
That's that pad. That's
exactly. Yeah, Mike Dip, right? Mike Dip.
Right.
So Patriots, man, sitting at the 3 seed right now. They got the division on lock. Pretty much, they got the tiebreaker over the Bills. So either way, they're in the playoffs. They got the division, but he could potentially drop to the 4 seed. So his last 2 games are against the Cowboys and the Steelers.
Oh, those 2 tough ones.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this now: if it comes down to whether or not the Steelers or the Texans make the playoffs based on that game, you throw that game, I'm booting you.
Wow. I
always hit no payoffs. I don't run the ball. He give you tacos for life or nothing like that. You throw that game and you don't play that game like you're supposed to play it, then I'm booting you. There's no collusion and no letting people playoffs because that's your boy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't think he'd do that.
I don't think so. I just want to put that.
He might. I don't think so though.
Yeah, but actually, I think Tigers only behind the Steelers by 1 game.
Yeah,
I think so. Steelers would be a tough game for Marquez. I don't know if they played yet, but Steelers. I feel like if you play the Steelers more than once, you'll kind of get him figured pretty easily. I think D Nice is going to feast on him for the next 5 seasons. Because he just telegraphs his shit too much. Yeah. But unless he adjusts, I mean, you have to adjust in this league. But Marquez might have a hard time for him playing on the first time because I think that stuff, like I said, that game plan, if you just have like a specific game plan, it might work that first time. It's that second, third, and fourth time where teams usually beat it up. But I think Steelers and Spazzy, I think is his name. He put together a pretty good, rookie season, considering that last year he came in so late. Got some good playmakers on the defense side of the ball. He'll be tough for Marquez. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I think out of that game, I'm probably going to rock with the Steelers, man. I do think, just for the same reason you said. I mean, his playbook is not that wide open, but the plays he does run, like you said, you have to. Once you know they're coming, then you can stop it. But
he might get you 3 quarters, 4 quarters.
Exactly. So I could see him putting up some yards through the air.
I'd probably take Steelers in that game just because I think Marquez will have it locked. That's week 17, right?
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, it's
week 17.
Yeah.
Okay.
Week 16 has got Joe, and I mean, when those two play, I feel like they play very similar styles as far as bend but don't break defenses, and run the ball, convert on third down, make big conversions. That's a toss-up for me, but I'm going to go with Joe because I just feel like this is winning time for Joe. And this time of the season, he knows how to get those W's, and he'll find his way in.
It took him a while, but he definitely on a run. I think he lost 1 out of the last 6 he's played, but he's ran off 4 or 5 or 6 straight, maybe.
Yeah.
No, this is usually I say around. I think he won his championship this year. Did he win his championship season 1 last year? I'm trying to remember if it was season 1 or season 2.
It's season 2, I think.
Yeah, so feels like season 2 is where he starts to find his stride, and I think he'll get it done against Marquez. I do think the Marquez Steelers game's a toss-up, but I'd probably give it to Spazzy. I think the Patriots will get in there 10-6, win the division, get the 3 seed, which is what they were probably going to get anyway, or the 4 seed, whichever one they end up with.
Yeah, I think I do think Joe's going to get that W. So I think Marquez is going to lose out last 2 games. Still possibly take the 3 seed though, which takes us to the Raiders. It's the last 2 games down the stretch for them are one is against Tunde and that Packers offense. And then the last one is against the Broncos. I mean, pretty much that's going to be the Broncos fighting, as much as they can to try to get that 6th seed. Yeah. But in my opinion, I got, the Raiders splitting those 2, landing them at 10-6. And if they're at 10-6 and the Patriots are at 10-6, I would want to say that the Patriots have that tiebreaker. With the division wins.
Yeah, he's 6-0 in his division, so
yeah.
It'd be conference wins would be the tiebreaker, I think, but who knows what matters.
Yeah, that's why I don't know. That's why I say it a lot. Like it's up to EA really at that point.
Yeah, it's impossible to know. It's gonna be a tough matchup against Tunde. He's got a lot to play for out there, as we'll get to eventually. But I like him against the Broncos. I think that's a game that MDC would clean up. Nothing against Reg. I just think MDC kind of has that number in the AFC West this season. Packers though, I would be leaning towards Tunde just because of how much he's playing for. But Tunde, the problem with Tunde, and he kind of puts it out there, is he tells people what frustrates him. He puts it right out there. I think a lot of deep zone defenses seem to work against him. It seems to frustrate the shit out of him, and I can understand why, because it's tough to pass in these last 2 Maddens. They've definitely tightened up on space, but I'll probably give it to Tunde because I just feel like he's playing for more out there in the NFC North.
So what are your thoughts, man? Commish?
I mean, to be honest, man, we got to find a fucking offense. I mean, that's the biggest thing. We've been winning games on defense in large part. I mean, I had a pretty decent offensive game against HG, but it wasn't. That's honestly, I don't think he was playing as hard as he can play. You know what I mean? So in the second half, we had a decent game, but I mean, in the games and prior to that, we had some struggles on offense. I mean, like I say, just when I kind of found a decent groove, and then they passed the game. And let's say it's just different now. But
yeah, week 10 on, huh? Week 10 on, you've scored above 14 once.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a tough run.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, we're gonna be in Green Bay. If the weather is crazy, then I might have a better chance based upon the weather, because you can't do what you want when it's snowing and raining and shit like that in this Madden. So
you do have Le'Veon Bell too. So I mean, that guy. You'll find offense sometimes when you're not even looking for it with him.
The Oakland Le'Veons. That's what they are, though. The Oakland Le'Veons.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I mean, yeah, and freaking Amari Cooper got hurt against you, Bev, actually on a non-contact injury.
My kicker tore his abdomen on a field goal. Tore his abdomen.
That's crazy. Yeah, it was the end of the game. Like, it was closing the game out. It was the end of the game. I think we great kick a game-winning field goal, and then he got hurt on the running play. It tore his knee up on the running play. How you say knee up on the running play?
They haven't done that right. I've seen plays where people are just walking, and they just it's like, oh, this dude broke his leg.
Right.
He broke his leg walking off the
field. So yeah.
So I
develop our younger receivers.
Yeah, what was that?
Now I'm just saying we're just trying to develop our younger receivers. I'm a little tough without my primary receiver, but we get it back before the playoffs. I think we get back week 17. So we'll hold on to then. That's all I'm saying.
Sometimes it's good. It's good to get those young guys in too. Get them some play. Find out what you got down there.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the top 4 in the AFC we all feel is stamped. So now we're looking at wild card 5 and 6. So actually, I mean, I think 5 is personally stamped too. The Bills right now 8 and 6. They do got a tough run. I think they played the NFC East back to back with the Eagles and the all words I like to call them. But those are going to be 2 tough games, man. The Eagles definitely fight. They're fighting for the division. And then I've always said Will is always a tough play. So I mean, I'm curious to see what happens there. The thing is, I think even if he drops both of those games and goes 8 and 8. I'm trying to think here. It might be up to EA. Let's see. No, because Houston can get in if they win out. And then the Broncos, I think they might. I gotta look at the conference record. They might still get in over the Broncos though.
Broncos conference record is 5-5 going into these last 2 weeks. The Bills are 7-5.
So it would be the same then if that's
they win out.
Yeah,
if the Broncos win out. Yeah. Are they playing teams both next 2 games? Broncos,
yeah, they got Raiders and the
12 conference games a year.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, it's that's going to be EA logic, but it's probably a good chance that they still get in even if they lose out.
Omar, he's so good. My fault for cutting you off too.
No, you good.
Omar is so good with his he's using his linebacker. He's especially that Tremaine Edmonds guy. That dude's a monster anyway. He's 6'5". Omar uses him to perfection.
Right.
And but Omar turns the ball over a shit ton.
He does. He definitely does.
So Edmonds, he'll pick you off, 3 user picks, and then Josh Allen will just toss that motherfucker right back to you. So it's really.
I don't want it.
But if he scores points, he's tough to beat. He's really for anybody. He's tough to beat for any team in this league. If he scores points and he plays D the way he can, he's tough. But he finds a way to shoot himself in the foot usually. So we'll see how this plays out for him.
I've been telling Omar for as long as he's been here, even back to when I first met him in the Trill League that we was in a while back. How we met Joe and all them, but he's his own worst enemy. Like he can play, he can really play, man. But he just his own worst enemy. Like he gets in his own way. If he wouldn't trip over his own feet, he'd win a lot more games.
Yeah, turnovers kill him. But he's got that Bills team playing well, and that Bills team was some hot trash coming into the league.
It was. He turned it around real quick.
Yeah, he's done well. He's done well out there. I think he'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah. Okay, so that's one. Steelers right now holding the 6th seed. They got the Bengals, which could be I ain't gonna say it's a late.
Fro's playing good this year. Though.
Yeah.
He's shown up a couple times this year.
And now that I'm thinking about it, I originally had him beating Fro and who was his other game? The Patriots. So I actually had him winning both of those. But now I'm like, that game against Fro, Fro's the type of player that could probably get that W against the Steelers.
Fro could sneak up on you if you overlook him, I think. But I don't know. I think Spazzy's got that first year magic. I think he'll win both games. Like I said, I think he'll beat the Patriots too with that first year magic coming in. Nobody's really got the book out on him. Nobody knows what to expect, So I think he'll sweep the last 2 games. Find himself 9-6-1 or something like that.
Yep.
So he'll take that 5 seed, in my opinion.
Okay.
Man, y'all should read the chat on the stream right now. It is hilarious.
Hold up.
People going in on my nose or some shit.
Nah, they just they're laughing at how you pronounce Tunde's name.
Tunde. Yeah, they funny.
they going on the fact that the Steelers are XP game to D Nice. D Nice, he called them the XP game.
Yeah, D Nice. He's gonna clean up on Spazzy for the entirety of Madden. That's
wow. Oh wow. Wow. Bold predictions. I
just don't see anybody touch them in the division. And I think Marv could have, like a different Marvin. I don't think he's as invested as he used to be. I just don't see him challenging him no more, though. I think D Nice is in a league of his own out there. And I think he's been that way since day one, really. I mean, that division's that's his. But Spazzy, I think, this season, I think he's got that wild card magic. He's gonna make it to that first round. Who knows what he'll do against the Patriots or whoever ends up 3-4. But I think he's gonna get into the playoffs 9-6-1.
Okay. I agree with you.
Well, Spazzy's watching, fellas, because I just seen him pop up in the chat. So he definitely heard your words. So we'll see.
Hear him. Write them down.
Take a picture. I don't give a fuck.
Oh man, I love it.
Oh no. So we all agreeing what Texans and Broncos outside looking in this year. Huh?
I think Texans everybody thinks that Texans are like little brother in my division. Texans are tough. Texans the kid he wants to win. He can play D unless he's playing against Ming in some pointless game. Evidently, then defense don't work.
Wow.
But most of the time, Tyke can play some D, and I think he gets in his own way by trying to push Watson, trying to push certain players, certain plays. I think he gets kind of caught with his hand in the cookie jar looking for stats sometimes. So I mean, you probably look at some of his games that have played this year. There's probably one or two that he probably thinks he shouldn't have lost because he made, a dumb, aggressive decision because he wanted to get an extra touchdown for Watson, or he wanted to get an extra this for that, or whatever. I think that's what hurts Tyke. Tyke can play though.
Yeah, I think awards mean a lot to him, and it shouldn't. It should be about wins. For him, I think he'll garner more respect and praise from people if he just focus on winning the game versus trying to stat pad or whatever you want to call it. Get awards and beat people out for this and that. I mean, and if you've come to find out that last man was one thing when you got awards, it was just uncontrolled amounts of XP, but this year is not.
No.
You may get one or two skill point boosts from the guy that gets an award. So it's not going to carry you all the way to the promised land. It's not going to do that this shit.
Especially once they get up high. I barely even ran Fournette this entire season because, he gets to a certain level. It's like, why even bother risking injury? Trying to get 1,800 yards instead of just like taking what you can get him out of the game, get him healthy to the next one. The awards, they don't mean as much, like you were saying. They really don't, especially if you have a developed player. If you have a rookie, I can see that. Those awards that will put that rookie on the right path. But when you have a developed player who's in their 90s, the awards don't mean shit really at that point.
Not at all.
I'm gonna be honest. That was the game plan against him when we played. You just look at the stats for him and who he likes to target. Perryman is his guy. Yeah. So you bracket Perryman all game, and you get. And the thing is also the pass rush. I feel like has changed a little bit. I'm getting home all the time with my front four. And so, I mean, when you're dropping back and you're trying to always develop a deep route, it's curtains.
It's not easy to throw deep in this, man. It's really not.
No,
you gotta have the right routes out.
Football. Get first downs, 8, 10, 12 play drives and get scored.
Yeah. All right. So let's hop over to the NFC, man.
Before you do that, I'm gonna say that Week 17 game between Jokey and the Texans is gonna mean something because he played Jokey the last game of the season. So
that's true.
Jokey may not be playing for much because he might have his seat locked up, but Tiger's playing for everything. So that's a good game.
Well, actually, that game still is gonna mean something because
Jokey, that's 1 seed. That's a 1 seed. Jokey might be playing.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it actually may be more than that.
It's still seeing like the 1 and like the 5 could be. So it's kind of wild with how that division works.
Yeah, Proto's only out 1 game, so it does mean a lot.
I don't think I identified all of the different scenarios. It was just too many because every team is like 1 game. Like every team is 10-4, 9-4, 9-5, and then Jokey's the only 11-3 guy. Like it could go so many different ways. It's crazy.
I mean, both conferences are that way. Like, it's really 1 game. Like, if something happens with D Nice loses a game in the last 2, then Kevin's automatically the 1 seed because he has a head-to-head matchup tiebreaker. So,
right,
and then it literally rolls down by 1 game in the NFC. You got 11, 10, 9, 9, 9, 10. Yep. That's crazy. And you got the Bears and the Eagles 8 wins. They sitting on the bubble.
Yeah, let's start with the South because the South is intriguing, bro. Like, any of the top 3 teams they can't. So either the Falcons or the Panthers can take the division, of course. But all 3 can potentially make the playoffs, or only 1 can make it. It depends on what happens. I think between the Panthers and the Falcons, who wins that game, and then what happens the game after that is going to be huge.
Yeah.
But I think whoever wins that game takes the division, for sure.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because I think Proto's lost to Jokey once already. Mm-hmm. So if he loses twice, he can kill the division. He just won't go wild card. Yeah,
even if Proto does beat the Panthers, and they both win Week 17, it's still going to be Jokey's division because of that division record he has. So
is it?
Yeah, Jokey's got a little bit of room. He's got a little bit of room to breathe, but I think Proto. I mean, Proto God, you don't want to lose to that guy. I'll tell you that much.
Your ears can't take it.
You will never be able to forget it. Don't lose to him. But he shows up, man. He's a tough opponent this time of season. He's a veteran. He's a Madden veteran. That dude, he seems like he knows the game in and out. He's out there watching film or whatever the fuck he's doing. That dude he's on his shit though. He's on his P's and Q's. So you gotta be on yours. You gotta be on yours to beat him. So.
Coach Proto. Coach Proto.
Proto Ali.
Proto with the hoodie.
Hoodie Proto Ali.
Coach Proto with the hoodie.
Oh man, that's funny. So all right. So I mean, I'm actually torn. I think I called the Falcons to take the division, and that I guess that means Falcons win out, Panthers lose out, meaning that we're calling Tyke to beat Jokey in week 17.
I'm not calling that.
Well, that's what I guess I'm calling. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's how I see it shaping out. I do have the Panthers though at the 5 seed. So
really.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's crazy.
Well, I guess that's support your argument about who you predicted for the playoffs, but I don't think Jokey is he's regular season. He's Sam. So don't get it twisted. He regular season he gets it done. The playoffs whole different animal. Like he might be more of an issue with being Martin Levy than Kevin said he is because he can't get out the first round.
Yeah,
just it is what it is. But I need him to pop up one time and go ahead and dead that rumor. But but as far as him locking up his position in the playoffs regular season, I think he'll be fine.
I was just looking at something too. The Texans, so they're sitting at 7-7. Like I said, I think the Bills are going to lose out. I think they're going to end up 8-8. I still think that would get them in. But saying that now, I'm looking at the Texans. The Texans have a tiebreaker over them.
To the Texans, but no. If the Texans
Bills
lose out and the Texans beat the Panthers,
they beat the Dolphins. What if they beat the Dolphins and lose to the Panthers and the Bills lose out?
They're still in. They're in the 9-9. No, I mean 8. Oh yeah, that's right. That is 8-8.
Both be
Dang, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point.
See, I feel like that
EA logic.
that could very easily happen. Is both and then we flip a coin on EA Tiburon Field, whatever the fuck.
Exactly. No, they play. No, they didn't play. They didn't play. No, they didn't play this year. So, yeah, I don't know.
Huh.
That's gonna be a tough one. Like I said, we could sit here all day and belabor the point about what's the NFL playoff rules, but that don't mean nothing in Madden. So,
exactly.
So, yeah, they didn't play. So, I mean, it really doesn't. Maybe they may do common opponent, but I mean. Yet again,
I don't think they get that deep.
I don't think. Yeah.
I
think they're too lazy for that. So
too lazy, way too lazy.
Yeah. So so they didn't play. So I mean, I don't know how that's gonna check out, but these last 2 games are definitely going to mean a lot for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we can look at the current 2 seed right now in the NFC, the Niners. I mean, they have the division. They won a division, so they're definitely in the playoffs. Their last 2 games against Baltimore and Seattle. I personally think they're going to split. I have them winning Baltimore, but Seattle, I think he's owned the 3 games they played so far, and I think probably have won by a total of 8 or 9 points, something like that, combined. I think 5 if you listen. I think he shows up and gets 1. I think he got to get 1, right?
He ain't beat him yet. Pause, but he ain't beat him yet.
So. KT is I played him last season. He was in my division. He's easily one of the smarter players in this league, and
yeah, I would agree with that.
He can execute on the thumbs too. He plays all different positions. You'll see him at cornerback. You'll see him in the slot. When you're snapping the ball, you never know where you're going to find him, and he kind of identifies where he needs to be because he does have that cerebral approach to the game. I like the Niners to win out. I think they're the class of the NFC. I really do. They're gonna have to execute in the postseason, but I think they're the class of the NFC, and I think they win out and be right up there for that top seed too.
So are we putting your words in the bank and you're saying the Niners in the Super Bowl?
I'm not ready to go there, but I think they're the best team in the NFC right now.
We'll get to that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, all right, let's move on to this where it starts to get interesting, ladies and gentlemen. The Packers currently sitting at 9-4. Did they play yet?
No.
That game is going to mean everything. That game means everything. So Packers 9-4, Bears 8-5 right now. In my opinion, the Bears after that game, their schedule was, I don't want to use the word cupcake. It's light. It's not as difficult. Okay, they have the Chargers and the Rams, and they've owned those two players.
Yeah,
Madden after Madden after Madden.
Can't sleep on the Rams though, because you never know if one of those 25 carries Gurley's going to get. Two of those goes for a touchdown, and it's a crazy game,
But this is the thing, though. Like I think it's a history thing, right? Like it, and I think we've talked about this before on other podcasts. Like they've played. It's been 12 years now that they've seen each other, and that he's just never, both of them, Damo and Vince, just can't beat Tayo. Like I think it's a cerebral thing now. Like it's like
it's in their heads. I got you.
It's in their heads, man. I don't know what it is, man. But and then both of those teams are going to be out of it. So are they really going to be up to play that game? Like it's going to mean a lot for Tayo.
I keep looking at the Rams and I keep seeing like their record. I'm like, whoa! Like I keep waiting for him to break out of this funk because he's a perennial contender from what I could see. Just looking back at the history, just a brief look back at like the banners that are up. Looks like he's perennially contending. So I'm waiting for him to wake up and get this game figured out. I think it's a little tougher to. He's got to diversify his offense, I think, a little bit. I think it's a little tougher to just power run, and have he's got to develop his passing game a little better. But I'm waiting. I think the Rams, I don't think they're a pushover by any means. I can definitely see them sneaking one away from Tayo week 17. Tayo. Am I saying it right?
Tayo.
You said it right the first time. But again, I mean, and I have all the history about their legacy as far as them playing each other. He, like I said, he just had mind control over Debo. It's just he for some reason he just knows Vince in and out. Like he hasn't figured out, and he always has. I probably in the course of his ever since Madden 10 is how long we've been playing in MNFL. He probably beat him in a real game maybe twice.
Might be time to diversify the playbook then this game.
I mean, listen. From what I see, he's doing what brought him to the dance. So unless he changes that, and the game's in Chicago, so we're talking bad weapon fumbles and win.
And that's a tough defense to run on too. With Roquan in the middle.
Roquan got 90-something now. You got Khalil Mack on one side. You got Floyd on the other. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, that's not tough defense to run against.
Yeah, he's actually his team is actually number one in run defense.
I was just about to look at that. I kind of figured
he's number one in run defense. So I mean, good luck.
A tough matchup, but I still, you know what? I'm going to give Jarrell. I said it. I'm going to stick with it. I think Jarrell's going to get over the fucking hump. Prove me right, Jarrell. Well, so you better start winning. You're never going to get your Browns again, bro. You better start. I'm telling you.
See, listen, you gonna wake the bear again? I think we woke him up.
I'm trying to help him. Man, I don't want to see him. I don't want to see the grown man upset when somebody takes the Browns top 5 next year. Jeez, it's gonna keep happening. That team's just getting better.
Yeah. It is. You're right about that.
Facts.
He lived through all these Maddens to get to this point. Now he can't have it.
Dang, yo, that's crazy.
It's tough. It's tough, man. It really is.
So your prediction, Kevin, you're saying you're thinking Packers are going to take that division?
I like Tunde. Tunde. I like Tunde in that division.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Commish?
I would say, just similarly to what we talked about the Bears and the Rams history. In the past 2 Maddens, Tunde's had Tayo's number. Is the bottom line. It's only one game out, so like I said, he either put up or shut up. And I don't think, for some reason he knows Tayo enough to be able to, get by. So I think Tunde will still take the division this time around.
So let me see something here. If the Packers win that game, that puts them at 10-4.
Mm-hmm.
Who are their last 2 games?
Against the Raiders and somebody else. I know I play him next.
Raiders. I thought I had it on here. Oh yeah, Raiders and Lions.
Right.
That's what I wanted to get at. The Lions are 8-6. If they win out, they 10-6.
Yeah.
If they win out, that also means the best the Packers could be if you guys are saying they're going to beat the Bears is 11-5. So that still leaves Packers winning. Dude, does a 10-6 Lions even make it into the playoffs though? That
I don't think. Depends on
on a lot.
With the NFC North being so dominant, from a division perspective, I mean, they just, they play each other. They all play each other, and they both got 9 or more wins. So that's just crazy to me.
That is crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. So like Corey's, he's third, and he's 9-5.
Yeah.
So I mean, so it's tough. I mean, I think that you gotta play your best ball if you're not going to win a division in any division. If you expect to make the playoffs, because if you want to predict the future, I'd say the NFC South is going to keep putting 2 people in the playoffs if y'all don't having a exemplary record. From a wild card perspective, you want them to be like 13-3 to be a wild card team.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough out there in the NFC.
It is, man. It's rough sledding.
Couldn't be me in the NFC.
All right. I'd rather play one once rather than beat up on each other for the whole season. I can't. Nah, I ain't trying to do that. I ain't trying to do that. Too much stress on my life right now.
But I will say, I think the Lions, they're going to be rooting for MDC to get the W.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I think if they can split with the Packers, and I'm trying to pull up the division record for the two right now.
I got it right in front of me if you want. Lions 2-2, and the Packers are 4-0 going into the game against Teo.
It's hard, yo, because I personally got the Bears winning.
Yeah, well, if the Bears win, then we can talk about it. But I mean, regardless, the Lions looking at a wild card, in my opinion.
You think
regardless. So? Yeah, but it's tough because, like I said, the division record is going to out him for the division regardless. Mm-hmm. Even if they both lose their last 3 games, he still would be like 4-2 in the division. So I don't think the Lions are going to win a division at all.
No, but it's good to see B-Main competing, man.
Yeah, he's definitely fighting out there, but
But I don't know because look, if the Bears win against the Packers. Yeah. That would put the Packers at 4-2 if the Lions could beat them as well. The Bears right now, what is their record? I know they already lost to Tune.
Bears are 2-3.
So the Bears, that would put the Lions at the number 1 seed. I mean, I'm not number 1 seed, but winning the division.
That's a lot of maybes because you got to realize none of them haven't beaten Tune yet this year. Yeah. Like it's mad. They haven't beaten.
That's true.
Yeah. So I mean, again, put up or shut up, but I mean, by probability says that Tune's going to win both games and he's going to be the division winner.
Yeah, don't get that 4-0 division record by accident. So
exactly. And I think he was 6-0 last year in the division. Yeah. So
he did.
Pretty sure he did.
I'm just putting out all the possibilities. That's all
I feel you. But like, that's if you was a betting man, you bet on that, you're going to win big because there's a lot of odds against that.
Yeah. Hey man, I know he watching right now, man. Get fired up, B-Man. I mean, we see you, bro.
B-Man, man, it's good to see him playing well because I know back in TLF when I played in that league, he was a stud out there. He used to clean up, best class of the division. He's best player in the conference a couple seasons. So I know last season it was just last year's Madden just wasn't for him, I guess. But he definitely it's good to see him out there competing in a really tough division.
Mm-hmm. So the East, man, really, so is winner is, in my opinion, the only one getting in that division. So it's between Cowboys and Eagles right now. So Cowboys, right now 9-5. Next 2 games coming up are against the Giants and the Pats. They have the easiest road to winning out and sealing it, but those 2 games are so you can't. One, because the Giants, they know each other, so you don't know who's going to win that game, and then with the Pats. That game, in my opinion, can go either way, just because of how we spoke on earlier with Marquez and the way he likes to play the game. They both play in the same type of ball, in my opinion. So it's like, who can score the most points in that game?
Who can not turn the ball over? Who can not make the most. Who can make the least mistakes? That's what they're going to play. That's the way they're going to play all game, and it's going to come down to whoever, blinks first, turns the ball over.
True, and don't sleep. But the Rail has the Bills and the Vikings the last 2 games, so those are 2 very winnable games for him. So if Joe drops one, we looking at a tiebreaker situation. Then Rail beat him in week 12. I'm going to try to see who won the first game.
I think did Rail
sweep him? They split. But they split. But the Eagles own a point differential because Joe won by 3, but he beat him 14-0 the second game.
Yeah, the Eagles are 5-1 in their division,
and they have a better division record. That's what it's going to.
So Joe drops that Patriots game. Look out!
I just don't think Joe will, though. I think Joe's going to get it done. Personally,
I do believe he's on that tilt right now, though. He definitely is playing well. Like he hasn't lost. He lost to the Rams. Ironically, I'm looking at the Eagles schedule. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Let me see. Yeah, but he definitely is on that run. Like 5 always references. He always make that run, towards the middle of the season, and he somehow figures something out. And
he's won some tough games too. Like if you look over his last 5 weeks, he's not playing scrubs. He beat the Lions in a tough game. He got shut out by Rel, which he probably wishes he could have that back. But he beat the Niners. He beat the Bears. He went out there and beat some really good teams.
That Panthers game was that hurt. That hurt. 14-12.
Yeah.
Jokey's got his squad, man. Like I don't think people thought enough. When he grabbed the Panthers, I knew we were in trouble because McCaffrey is perfect for him. Like he loves a halfback that can catch out of the backfield. It's a big part of his game. And he's got Newton. You got DJ Moore. I mean, that team was built for Jokey, and he knows that team in and out. He's a real deal this year.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So, I mean, like I said, that those 2 games are going to be real tough. I mean, like I said, I hope we see some streams or something because those are must see TV. It comes down to who's going to take it. That week 17 is going to tell a lot. Like 16 is important, but 17 is really important for a lot of people.
And I feel like 16, or at least for the Cowboys, I actually think he's going to win that Pats game. The Giants is what I'm worried about. It's not the skill of the Giants; it's the fact that they know each other so well. Like they're boys. You know what I mean?
Also, I realize he's decimated that team. There's no six.
The Giants. Yeah.
Don't wait. Trying to give 5 a heart attack, man. Just let the man have a night. Let the man have a night. Goodness.
But it's the truth. We see what team they got out there.
I think Joe will get done. The one thing I'll say about the Cowboys that gives me pause about seeing them in the playoffs is if you score more than 20, even if you just, butt fumble your way into the end zone for 20 points, you're going to beat the Cowboys because they have not shown that they can score. They can win those, knock them out, drag them out games. But if the Giants can get on the board, if they can get 14 early, I don't think the Cowboys play well from behind. I think that's where you got to get them, and it could happen. That's what the tough part for the Cowboys. All it takes is a couple quick scores, and they're playing catch up. And I don't think they're built to do that. I don't think that's Joe's style.
So. Yeah, time management football is his style. He manages the clock. He doesn't. I always say he's methodical Joe. He don't make a lot of mistakes. He sticks to his guns. He sticks to his playbook. He got those scripted plays he runs. He read from that clipboard and he just keep pushing the ball. So I mean, it depends on what Phil can do against him. But Phil not playing for much but draft position at this point. So
he did. Last time they played, Joe shut him out 29-0.
See,
so I mean that's something. But it's going to be a lot more pressure this game. Hopefully he gets. I'm rooting for him. I think he's going to get it done.
Okay.
Yeah. So we get down to the Falcons, 10-4 right now. As we said, they got the game against Carolina next. And after that, they wrap it up against the Seahawks. So 2 tough games down the stretch for them. I guess I can start it off. I personally picked them to win the division. So, I mean, that means I picked them to win both of these games, which I do. I don't think they're going to be easy wins, but I do think he can pull it out. It's going to be tough. But I'm going to stick by that.
Yeah. I think I mentioned it earlier, but I think Jokey is going to get Proto in week 16. I do like Proto against 5. I think 5, he likes to play man. He likes to play single high. He likes to blitz, a lot of blitz packages. And Proto has 3 of the best receivers in the league, and he likes to run them on crosses, and that will eat up a man defense. And I think he might go up big. I like 5 style, but I don't think it's going to do him well against Proto. So I like Proto in game 2 and game 17, week 17, and I think he's going to get in the playoffs at 11-5. I think that would put him at.
Yeah, I might have to share that sentiment. I mean, because again, it's for some reason, Jokey gives Proto problems. And at least in the regular season, I don't think they faced each other in the playoffs, but from the regular season perspective, and games in Carolina. So you look at it from a standpoint of I can lock up the division, I can lock up the number 1 seed practically by winning the game. So Jokey got extra motivation to get the W.
Yeah.
So I think Jokey will win that game, and I think he'll take the game against 5, and he'll end up at probably the 5 seed as far as being a wild card.
First wild card as well. Yeah.
Okay. Takes us to the Saints, man. Another team from the South, currently 9-5. In the last 2 games, they have Tampa and Washington, so that's a pretty light schedule for them.
Don't say that because he lost to Tampa last week.
That's true.
Coach shows up, man. Coach is another one. He's a cerebral player. He gets you figured out. If he sees you a lot, if you're in his division, he's going to play you tough every time you play him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
Yeah, but that game was in New Orleans. He played him the first time in Tampa, and the game was in New Orleans. I think he'll outthink Will, and he'll beat Will. From a game manager perspective, because like I said, Will's tough, and he got to play in Washington. But I think Corey outthink him. Maybe force him into a mistake or 2, and he'll beat him. The Redskins, but that Bucks game, that's for all the marbles right there. Because
especially I think Coach will probably know at that point that he's playing spoiler. So
exactly. So
10-6 might not be good enough in this conference.
It depends.
Yeah,
it depends. So
it depends. Yeah, it depends on the Bears and Eagles and Lions how they do. Yeah,
the Lions out there too. So yeah,
this is crazy, man.
Yeah, I want to say that as much as that was the first time playing coach this season. Coach. I think Corey has a really good mental Rolodex when it comes to playing. He remembers. And it's not that far off. Like they just played this week just passed. So by Thursday, he's not going to have forgotten what happened in that game. So I think Corey will make some adjustments. I think he'll pop up, and I think actually he'll beat the Bucks in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I like Corey for both. I just think that coach game can go either way though. But I think heart of hearts, I
think Corey will pull it out.
Yeah, me too. So I think the top 6 that we have right now, despite how congested the NFC is, I think the top 6 is the top 6. I think that's who's going to make the playoffs. I think that's who's going to be in the show and competitive teams.
That's I don't know, man. I think I'm with you up until the 6th seed. My mind is telling me to go with Corey, but my heart is saying it's going to be either the Packers or the Bears. Whoever does not win the division, I think it's going to be the wild card there.
Okay.
Yeah, be 1 sec. 1 sec, guys. Sorry.
You good, man. So I don't know, man. Well, but that's that the last 2 games for Corey. I mean, if he wins those, it's that's what it is. But he's got to win them. That's the thing.
You got some Christmas spirit behind
me. Nice.
It's the season.
That's it. What I miss? Anything good?
No, we're just talking about what we're talking about. Yeah, man. I mean, I would say that we got a little bit divided on, and there's a lot that could happen in the last 2 games to say who's going to play in the playoffs. I mean, because I would say let's make I guess wild card predictions, but we don't know who's going to be in the wild card.
Mm-hmm.
So much is on that Tunde and Teo game too, though. So
yeah, it is.
Tunde.
Oh,
right, Tunde. What's up, Tunde? I like Tunde better, man.
My dude Tunde. Oh, Baba Tunde.
So I guess we can recap for the last 4 teams in the NFC what would need to happen. I guess if we're all sort of agreeing, at least on the first 5. So yeah, for the Bears, for them to get in, pretty much they need to win out.
Yep.
They got to beat the Packers, and they gotta win out. Pretty much that's it. For the Eagles, they need help. They need help. So
well, I would say for anybody, I think everybody they need to all win out, and they all need help. I think the Bears, the Eagles,
if the Bears win out,
Bears are the only ones who have the destiny in their own hands.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else, anybody else behind the 6 right now, they need to win out and they need help. So
right.
I mean, it can happen.
The Seahawks could get it, man. Like if everyone ahead of them loses out, Madden could take over. You know,
you never know. You never know. But I think the Seahawks got a tough schedule down the stretch too. So that's cool.
Season 2.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Yeah, it's rough out here.
Yeah.
It's definitely rough out here. So did we lose D-Bev?
So I don't know. Do we want to table that for then, or what y'all want to do?
Oh, we didn't hear none of you just said. At least I didn't.
Oh, I was saying, do we want to jump into Super Bowl predictions, or do we want to table that? Because I think we can get another show in for next week. I think playoffs should start next weekend.
Yeah.
We'll table it till we get a full set. Otherwise, we're going to be predicting games that don't even happen for all we know. You know?
Well, I agree. Since we got you here right now, Jaguars. Yeah, I mean, owner. Just throw it out there, man, for the people, man. What's your prediction? You against who?
I think and I don't want to overlook anybody because, like I said, the AFC is going to have 6 teams, and they all going to have their own possibilities, and they all going to present their own difficulties. But I feel like smart money would be me and D Nice in the championship, and then whoever wins that, we'll see. Plays. In my opinion, it's going to come down to KT. I think KT will be there. The NFC is just so wide open that it's tough to really say because, I mean, it depends how these matchups line up in the NFC for me to really say anything. But for the AFC, I think D Nice, the road's going to go through Cleveland, so it's going to be me and him, in my opinion.
So you being diplomatic right now, brother.
I ain't giving you. You think I'm giving D Nice? You get no bulletin material from me, man. You're a good player.
We need an NFC team, though. We need NFC. I need you to call the team.
I'll go KT. I'm gonna go with KT.
Okay.
Then.
There it is.
Gun to my head, KT. That's what I'd say.
There it is. Okay. There you got it. Yeah. All right. Anything else, Mr. Commissioner, before we wrap up?
No. That's pretty much it for me, man. I mean, from an administrative perspective, I think we're fine. We ain't really had no issues this week. Between podcasts, we had a few suspensions, but that's done and gone. So it's everybody's back on up and up. So I think we are.
All right. Cool. All right, fellas, it's a pleasure. Thank you, Mr. Kevin.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for doing this.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah,
it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Gotta do it again, man.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, fellas, y'all take care.
All right, man.
Catch you later.